Hey, yo, it's Talib Kweli, and you know I got soul. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be in here.
All right, Talib. So
Yes.
you just announced on the stage that you're putting out a new free album in about
Yes.
2 weeks. Talk about the album a little bit.
It's called Fuck the Money, and it's gonna be free, and I'm excited about it, and it's got a lot of interesting and wonderful things going on it.
And you know your music, it's always very meaningful. But you know, in today's hip hop generation, it's a little different. What's the importance to you to keeping the music meaningful and you know, with the lyrics being real?
I think music that anybody makes is meaningful to them personally. I just, what I talk about is what I be thinking about.
Yeah. And of course, with you, I think Get By is a great example of a song that's really touched people throughout the years. I'm just talking about the significance of that song.
Oh yeah, Get By is a song that people come out to see me perform. It's produced by one of the greatest producers to ever do it. It's a foundation of my career, and it's a beautiful thing.
And it's funny because on stage you mentioned that without reggae there would be no hip hop, but I look at it as without R&B there would be no hip hop either, and you've had a huge impact on R&B. So talk about your contributions to R&B a little bit.
Shit. My contribution to R&B. I was on a Lucy Pearl remix.
Right.
To Don't Mess With My Man.
Yep.
That's my contribution to R&B. Me and Chico DeBarge got a record together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Of course, you're part of the whole So Aquarius crew. Talk about the impact of that crew because a lot of talented artists came from that camp.
Soul Aquarians was a very, 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 very extremely loose-knit thing. It wasn't anything that was official. I think we did a photo shoot for Vibe once, but it was just like-minded artists who were making music together and working in the same spaces.
And of course, the thing that people love about you is you're very socially aware of issues that are going on. Tyrese, he went on a little rant about R&B about how white artists are getting played on both pop radio and urban radio, and he was complaining that the black artists weren't getting the same love. They weren't getting played on pop stations. Do you think that's the right approach for an artist to be taking to get their music played on certain formats? Because Tyrese is very outspoken about that.
I love Tyrese as an artist. He's such a consummate artist. He's so brilliant at everything he does. And he's somebody he's been in a lot of different worlds. He has had success in the R&B world. He's had successful radio records, so he understands the game. Tyrese knows what he's talking about.
Right.
And what he's saying is very much on point.
Right.
And, he's loud about it, of course, you know what I'm saying? But, what you also got to remember is Tyrese also has the #1 record in the country.
Right.
And I think that's part of his complaint is that I'm clearly in demand, but there must be something else in some other system that's stopping me from being played in these other spaces, even though I'm in demand clearly.
Right.
I think it's the same point that Nicki was making when she talked about Anaconda, and I think it's a valid point.
Right, but then I guess the argument is that if you really wanted your music played on pop radio, you could pay up like everyone else does. Do you think that's the right approach?
You can pay them like everyone else does?
Yeah, like all the major labels do.
Yeah, I don't personally know what Tyrese is investing in his marketing and promotion
Right.
for his radio singles. But yeah, I think it's very astute and accurate of you to say that, to notice that yes, radio singles on pop radio and top 40, whether it's hip hop or pop music, it's pay for play system, definitely.
Right, and of course you've had a lot of great R&B collaborations over the years. Just tell me what you remember about these collaborations. The first one is your record with Mary J. Blige, I Try.
I remember Mary J. Blige was going to Crustaceans, and she came in the studio and she was like, "Listen, I got to be at Crustaceans in about 3 hours, so I got 3 hours to knock out these vocals," and she killed it.
Yep. And then the next one is your remix of Tamia's "Officially Missing You," which ended up being really big, on the internet. Talk about your verse on that song.
Yeah, I was inspired on that verse by the bucket drumming on it. It was a nice touch, and that gave me something extra to work with
Right.
my flow.
Right, and then what about the Raheem DeVaughn song, Country Cousins?
That's a good one. I'm proud of that record. Me and Raheem got a few records together with UGK. I got a new record with Raheem coming out very soon with Raheem and Scarface. So.
Cool. And then two records that kind of caught me by surprise just because of their status, at that time, Neil's Hot Thing, which was a remix.
Right, the Neil Hot Thing remix. Warner Brothers dropped the ball. They didn't believe in anything I was doing. I went out and made that record happen. Gene Gray sounds great on it. Neo sounds great on it.
Right.
But they never put it out.
Right. So. And then the last one is the Justin Timberlake record, The Nature.
Yeah, I went to Africa with Cameron Diaz and Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake, and we talked. We were in the Serengeti Plains, and we talked a lot about music, and we talked about doing that record, and then we cut that record a year later. I think that was a record that was on his Future Love Sex, whatever that album was,
Yep.
but it didn't quite fit the vibe he was going for that record.
Right.
So he gave me that record. It was something he already worked on that
Yep.
that ended up on my album.
And then of course your collaboration album with Reese. Talk about that album because we love that album.
Yeah, Idol Worship is a special thing to me. It's one of the most freeing experiences I've had artistically.
Right. And you know, just talk about what else you have coming up for you.
You know, we got the Indie 500 album, me and Ninth Wonder, and me and Madlib got a record out, but we got the Fuck the Money coming out, and you know, Javoti Media.
Cool. And